I'm not sure how to start this video today. I thought, try thinking of an introduction, and nothing was coming to mind that I was really happy with. But just know I am super excited for this prompt today for Top 5 Wednesday. Hello friends, welcome back to Top 5 Wednesday and happy Wednesday. So very excited that you are here. Today is the final prompt for the month of July, which I'm totally in shock about. Not having AC for the past 3 weeks has been something else, and everything just sort of blurred together time-wise. I don't even know. But totally stay tuned for more prompts coming next week. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week we talk about a prompt or answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga, to reflect that said prompt. And today's prompt is Disability Pride. And again, I am so very excited about this prompt. Sometime last month, the month prior, I honestly don't remember, we did talk about mental health in manga and it was so good. I love the conversations that were happening here on YouTube as well as that I had off of YouTube as well. It was just very eye-opening and I was just really thankful for that prompt. So today I'm very excited that we are talking about disabilities in manga because yesterday was actually National Disability Independence Day, and I just think it's so important to highlight this holiday or this day. And so in honor of that, we are talking about manga again that focus on disability. This could be a character that has a disability, or it could be conversations that talk about it in a positive way. I did quite a bit of research for this video because I have really enjoyed the manga that I have read that feature characters that have disabilities, because it's been very, very eye-opening to me. I feel like that talking about disabilities is just so very important, because I honestly feel that whether a person has a disability or they don't have a disability, we are still the same. It doesn't matter if maybe we are missing a body part or we have a learning disability, we're in this together. We are humans, and I just feel it is so unfair to judge somebody else because they look different or they act differently than a person that is considered quote unquote normal. But what is normal anyway? So I did some research on this because I definitely thought of a few. A Silent Voice definitely came to mind, and it's one that's in the top 10 I saw that was most recommended, and I think that is awesome because A Silent Voice is absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very excited for my video review coming next month. It was so very good, so eye-opening, and very powerful. However, today I decided not to feature it on this list, even though it very much probably should be. So just know that's one of my honorable mentions because it is just, again, very eye-opening, very powerful. Love Shoko, love Shoya. Anyway. Well, I'm not getting into a review here, but please look forward to that. Very excited. So I wanted to try and feature some manga that I guess maybe were not as commonly talked about. Granted, with that said, I guess I should go in with my number 1 because I'm currently reading this. I only have 4 more volumes left and I'm so very excited. I decided to feature Edward from Full Metal Alchemist because, oh my goodness, I mean, if we're going to talk about manga with a character that has pride in who he is, regardless if he's missing a leg, regardless if he's missing an arm, it is Edward. And I am just amazed by just how he is not giving up, especially Al. I mean, both of these young men's journey has been absolutely incredible. I mean, I've really, really enjoyed the manga. It definitely has some dark spots, but it is so very powerful. And I think that Edward is a very awesome choice to have featured on these lists that I've seen with manga characters that are disabled, because yes, he does have automail, but I feel like the lengths that he has gone to help his brother get his body back and even his own arm and leg is just absolutely incredible. I mean, I admire him so much. I honestly feel, and I think I put it in one of my reviews, that if I was reading this as a younger teenager, I would totally have a crush on Edward. I mean, his perseverance and just everything about him. I mean, he's so inspiring and he's so grumpy as well, but like, he truly is an inspiring character. And I just was like, I have to feature him because I have been so moved by both of these young boys' journey. Well, they're not boys now where I'm at. I think Edward is like 18 now or somewhere in there. And Al, he's just taking the spotlight right now. And I'm just absolutely loving it very, very much. Like, I guess I should say, because they have been separated. So both of them are shining in their own ways. But I just love it. I mean, I'm not really sure how to put all my thoughts into words, but I mean, I feel like when the world would say, you should give up, your brother doesn't have his body, you're missing your arm and your leg, Edward and Al are like, no, we're going to keep fighting. We're not giving up. And was about to go into a review here and try to think of how I could shorten that. This is not the video review yet, but stay tuned. It's definitely coming. Very, very hyped for that as well. But I guess honestly, just yeah, that when I feel like people are like, you know, you could take the easy way out, use the Philosopher's Stone, get your bodies back, do this and this, and you can live happily ever after. They're like, no, I mean, especially from when they came from the beginning, they're going to make their own path, so to speak, and their friends are helping them, mentors, colleagues, other people, just there's so much there, and I have really enjoyed it. And again, I feel like this is just such an incredible and inspiring story, and absolutely love it. So I had to mention Full Metal Alchemist. I know Edward is like on a bunch of lists, but I'm like, I'm currently reading it right now. It needs to be mentioned because I figured I would like this story, though in the beginning I didn't think I would, but I figured I would like this story, but I was caught off guard how much I have really, really enjoyed this story overall. Cannot wait for that video review to come out. For number 2, I did not see this one recommended as much on these lists, but I'm like, dude, Josie, it's gotta be on the list, and that is A Sign of Affection. I talk about how much I love the romance in this story, but oh my goodness, Yuki is incredible. She is such a lovely young woman, and I've did a video review of volume 1. I did get a request to do a review of more of the volumes, so I'm trying to think about when I'm going to do that, because this story has been absolutely amazing, and I think this is another fantastic example of what I was saying before, that we are all the same inside, because I feel like some people would say, well, Yuki, because she's deaf, that like, how could she have a romance? And Itsuomi, that's part of why he is so amazing, because yes, she can definitely have a romance, and seeing Itsuomi willing to learn sign language and go to such leaps to connect with her through a way that she understands. Like, yes, he could just speak through like text messages and stuff, but he's actually taking the time to learn sign language. And I just really, really love that. And it's been very eye-opening seeing Yuki, this young woman, be just like any other young woman. And she is the same. But I mean, seeing her recently in the latest volume go get a job and what that looks like, and seeing her feelings, and especially how she can express herself, because she can't just say it like how I'm talking right now. And it's it's so courageous, and she's very admirable in my opinion, because she has to be open. I mean, when she's signing and even when she's writing, I mean, she's putting her heart out there. And I guess when you're talking to somebody and you're conveying your feelings, yes, you're putting your heart out there, but like, you know, if she's really shy, I mean, she really has to like basically overcome that hurdle of shyness and just say it. And it's just absolutely incredible. I have really been touched by how brave she is, how she has asked questions, even if she's like, I don't know how Itsuomi is going to take this, she's still willing to speak and to say and ask questions. And I just think it's so amazing. And again, this manga had to be featured because Josie for the win, but just I really love Yuki, not just, I mean, and for A Sign of Affection, not just the awesomeness of this romance, but specifically Yuki. She is a wonderful and another inspiring and just amazing young woman who, I don't know, I feel like makes me want to be braver and just want to, I don't know, just read braver. I really love her story very, very much, and I highly recommend it. I was going to say for number 3, but I want this to be my honorable mention. I have not read this volume yet, but volume 2 of Run Your New Legs came in the mail yesterday, and I'm so very excited. Oh my goodness, I feel like we're going to be meeting a new character. Very excited to meet her. I absolutely loved volume 1. I'm pretty sure I have a video review of this one as well. This was one of my most like expected hype manga that I was looking forward to this year. It has not disappointed. Oh my goodness, he is another amazing and inspiring character, and I just love that even though he lost his leg, that like he is not going to take no for an answer to really pursue his dreams and to run. It has been so amazing. I love the people around him. I love his character. He's sort of grumpy, but he's so precious. Look, I can't even say if I want to say sweet or precious. He probably would not agree, but his story is just so very powerful. Just another character that really pushes you to just give it your all. like plus extra. I was about to say plus ultra, but I'm like, this is not My Hero Academia. So this is another series I would definitely recommend. It is, again, I love his attitude and how he really, I mean, he's just going all out and it's awesome. And even when he literally falls flat on his face, he does not give up. He does not stop. And just truly, this is a very just amazing read. And I'm so excited that we're continuing to get more volumes of it because I'm 100% here for it. I love this cover. This green is so amazing. I told myself I could not start this until I finished those last 4 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist because somebody at my library put a hold on them and I can't like put my recheck out my volumes until I go turn it into the library. So I'm trying to hurry up and read that. But this is definitely going to be next on my to-read list because I really, really enjoy this series and how it challenges me personally to like, I have no excuses of why I can't keep racing, whether that's figuratively or literally. Like, I just have no excuses. Like, he is giving his all. Why can't I give my all? So this is another very moving, awesome story that I would highly recommend. All right, now we're back to our regular counting. So for number 3, this manga has not actually released yet, but I'm going to feature it because I'm very interested, excited, intrigued for this manga, and that is Josie, the Tiger and the Fish, I believe is the name of that manga. I know that the movie just released. A friend of mine highly recommended this to me. I have decide not to get it just yet until I stream it somewhere online. Like, I thought it was coming to Netflix, but there's a placeholder on Funimation. I think it is on Amazon Prime, but I have not jumped the gun because the last movie I watched, Run Your New Legs. Oh my goodness. Ride Your Wave. Ride Your Wave is what I'm thinking about. But oh my goodness, that movie wrecked me something fierce. And so I'm a little bit hesitant to try this movie, but I feel like I can handle it better if it was in manga form. And it is about the main girl, Josie, who is wheelchair bound. I believe she has been since she was a child. And so she really just lives her world through books, through movies, through her imagination. Then one day, I guess she meets this college student and he sort of flips her world upside down. They bump heads really fiercely in the beginning, I guess, but then they form a friendship and he just shows her how the world is and it's full of surprises. And I really am excited about that because I feel like Perfect World focused on the physical aspect of someone being wheelchair bound, but I feel like Josie, the Tiger and the Fish focuses more on the mental part of things. And I'm like, just open my eyes to your world, Josie. Like, I want to see how things are. I knew a friend that was wheelchair bound, and that was actually part of why I started Perfect World, because I wanted to be able to see the world through their eyes. And I feel like this is a manga that's definitely going to do that. And I don't know much else about it outside of what I said with the blurb, but it's one that I'm like, I want to mention today because it feels like it's going to be a very iconic and very powerful story. That's part of why I'm very excited for this Top 5 Wednesday video, because I want to be able to experience the world of people that their world is different than my own. I just think that is a powerful way to break ignorance, is one thing that I want to definitely do. I relate so much to Edward in Full Metal Alchemist when he talks about that with other people, of he's like, I don't want to live in ignorance. And that is exactly how I feel. That's why I'm excited for this Disability Pride like manga, because what better way, well, maybe not what better way, but what a great way to have our eyes open. And so I really want to feature Josie, the Tiger and the Fish specifically for that reason. I think it's going to be an amazing read, and it's one I'm definitely hoping to get this September because I think it releases September 9th. So if you're interested in this, stay tuned. It is coming. The manga, I should say. I don't know if I'm doing a manga review, but the manga is coming. Number 4, very, very excited about this manga, Love's in Sight. It comes out next April from Viz Media. It is my most anticipated manga for next year. I know there's so many good manga coming out, like Honey Lemon Soda just got a license announcement. I'm very excited for that as well as I think it's called Don't Say Mystery. But this manga, yes. Oh my goodness. I told my husband, I was like, this would be us. This would be us if I had a vision impairment, because the young man, he's a delinquent. People are afraid of him, but he's got like the trust, or his goons, I think it said that his goons look up to him, they admire him. And this young woman comes into his life. She's blind and she sees him for his real heart, and they fall in love. I think it was like love at first sight for him. And I don't know if she needs convincing or not, so to speak, when it comes to romance, but I do know that they do have a romance that like blooms, and I am just so very much here for it. I think there's something very powerful about manga that feature like where one character is disabled and then having a character that's not, and them having a romance. Like I feel like that's just so very powerful, because I feel like the world as a whole is like, well, if you're not normal, then how could you have a romance? And I am all 100% here for manga just proving that idea, that attitude wrong, because I totally believe that it's like wrong. Like, I mean, that's just not true. So I really have enjoyed, I noticed stories like Perfect World, Run Your New Legs, looks like it might have a romance. I'm really here for it. But also, yes, A Sign of Affection was the other one I was going to say. So I'm very excited for Love's Insight. I'm very curious to see how this story unfolds. I'm assuming since it's a shonen, I think it's a shonen. It's either a shonen or a josei. Seinen, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be from the guy's perspective, though I don't know. But I'm very, very curious and just very excited about this manga. I think it is going to be so absolutely amazing. And you guys can know for certain there will be a video review of it. For number 5, this is a digital manga that just released from Kodansha. I have not had a chance to read it, but it is called My Wonderful World, and I'm very interested in this manga. I was a little bit hesitant, I admit, to feature this one today because the main character is dyslexic, and I didn't know if that was counted as a disability, and so I went into some research on that, and they do say it is a learning disability. But it was very interesting looking this up, and I'm excited to feature this one because I found out recently one of my friends that is a writer is dyslexic, and I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. I guess this main character, I think his name is Shinobu, he can't read or write very well at all, and people berate him because he's struggling so much, and he's doing all he can just to even keep up. And he goes to a cafe, and that's where he learns that he is dyslexic, or like I guess he hears the term for the first time. Finally, he's able to, I don't know, I'm not really sure how to finish that sentence, because when I was reading the preview of it, he goes to this cafe and he's actually able to read the menu, because he's like, usually when he goes, he knows it's going to take him a long time to see, I guess, the words and be able to read them correctly. And here at this cafe, the menu has pictures, and he's able to actually order by looking at the pictures without struggling to read what the menu is saying. And the cafe worker or owner, like, he automatically not automatically, but he knows or sees this young man struggling, and I guess he's going to help this young man. I'm not really sure, but I mean, the blurb says that like his life is forever changed, and I'm very, very interested in this one because I don't feel that there has been a manga where we see the main character be dyslexic, and so I'm very interested seeing what does his world look like, because I feel like, you know, with my friend or just any person that's dyslexic and they say, I'm a writer or I dream to be an author, they're like, what? You know, how can you be that? And I just love how my friend is breaking the norm right there and doing this. So I'm hoping that reading this manga is another one that I hope opens up my eyes to her world and how maybe she does her process. I don't think that the main character in this book, My Wonderful World, is a writer per se, but I do feel it will still be eye-opening nonetheless, and it just sounds like a really wonderful read, even though I know it's called My Wonderful World. And that, my friends, are my 5 picks in my honorable mention for today's prompt of Disability Pride. I hope that you guys enjoyed these picks. I hope that I was able to feature some that maybe you haven't heard of before, or maybe you have heard but even more excited for. I would love to hear from you, friends. Are there some manga recommendations that you would give that have characters that are disabled, or any of these that you've read and would highly recommend? Again, I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!